Having recently decided to sell my model car collection I've collected over the last 10 years, I thought it might be an idea to sell them on an internet auction site. However, this involves using postage and sending some of these little beauties through the post. And all the detail that could be broken off, you have to take into consideration when you're sending them. You don't want a prize limited edition collector's piece like this ending up with its new owner as a pile of debris like this. So, this is how I pack a 1/18 scale model car. So first we need a model car to pack, and here's our subject, a 1/18 scale Kyosho Lotus Europa in British Racing Green. So for inspiration, let's see how a manufacturer would pack a car and why. First of all, it's in a cardboard box. This is very strong and is the first and outer layer of packaging. Inside, a polystyrene pallet with a car attached. The car's held clear of the base of the box, so the wheels aren't in contact with it, and so no forces can be transmitted up through the delicate axles and snap the wheels off. There's a large airspace around the car, so any intrusions into the box will not break off the delicate details like the spoilers and the mirrors. Doors are usually held closed with stickers or clips. And the whole car is screwed down to a base, holding it rigid in the box, so it cannot move about and damage itself on the inside of the box. All these features we have to emulate when we pack our Lotus Europa. So first of all, we need a box. And I've managed to get hold of some commercially available boxes that are a nice size, 12 inches by 9 inches by 5 inches, which translates to 300 millimeters by 225 millimeters by 125 millimeters. And this is what we're going to pack our Lotus Europa in. First of all, we must make up the box ready for use. With a bit of packing tape, we stick the bottom of the box together. Now we're ready. Our first item that we have to manufacture is a pallet to go in the box. The car can go in there quite easily, there's plenty of airspace around it, but sending it like that, no, it'd be able to move about and it'd be smashed before it got there. So I make these eye-shaped pieces of cardboard. The end pieces are the depth of the box and just over the width. The centre section of the eye shape is the size exactly of the bottom of the box, in this case 9 by 12. The end pieces, which are the depth of the box, fold up. The extra end pieces fold in. This is to make columns that will make the box even stronger. Once inserted into the box, you can see how these columns will work and be one in each corner that will add rigidity and strength at minimal extra weight cost to our package. Now we're ready to fix the car to the pallet. First of all, place an elastic band over the doors. This is to stop them opening in transit, because the last thing we want is a doorless car. However, the bonnet, boot or trunk and hood aren't locked down. This will become apparent later. Now we're going to make the plinth that will raise the car off the base of the box. This is essential as we'd like the car to still have wheels when it arrives at its destination. And you see, made out of, in this case, 3-ply cardboard. This is basically because the underside detail of this Europa is such that it demands a thicker base. The base itself is held together with double-sided sticky tape. Sticking it together this way stops it coming apart in transit and makes for a much more solid base for the car to rest on. It's multi-layered and also acts as a shock absorber, so the car can take those little knocks that it will receive in the postal system and survive unscathed. Just check that the car fits on it. Lovely. Now the reason the centre section of this particular support shows here, there are delicate pieces here and here on the underside of the car that we do not want to be damaged in transit, hence the shorter centre section. As you can see there, the wheels are going to be held well clear of the base. Now we can fit the plinth in the middle of the base of our pallet. Again, double-sided sticky tape is used to fix this in place. Once the plinth is fixed into place, we place the car onto it and now can mark out where our bubble wrap bands that are going to hold the car in place are going to pass. These will pass through these slots that we're going to cut and over the car. This is why we didn't bother restraining the bonnet and boot earlier, because the bubble wrap bands will do that for us. Removing the car again, we now get a pair of scissors and cut away the areas where the bubble wrap bands are going to go. Making sure you don't remove your finger ends with the scissors. Highly important this. You don't want a package that's absolutely covered in blood when it gets there. Once these sections are removed, we're ready now to fit the car onto the now complete pallet. The car is placed on its plinth, and now we can make some bubble wrap wrappings. This is standard bubble wrap, small bubble. It's 300mm or 12 inches wide. There's probably a roll of about 2 or 3 feet of it there, or 60 to 90 centimetres. Cut the roll in half and in half again. This gives either 7.5 centimetre long bandages or 3 inches if you're in old money. Now these can be utilised to secure the car to the pallet. There you are, you get 4 out of a roll, but we only need 2. Placing the first bandage in its slot on the pallet, we place the car in situ and bandage it onto the pallet. At this stage you don't have to worry about getting this too tight, because you want to be able to make sure the car is aligned when it's actually gone on to the next phase, which once you've bandaged it into place, we get a roll of normal sellotape or sticky tape. And if any Australians are watching it, don't laugh, we call it sellotape in England. I know, Jasper Carrot told us. So utilising the sellotape, we then sellotape the car in to the pallet. Remember, this is for strength more than anything, so a good few bands of sellotape around there. It won't stick to the car because the bubble wrap prevents this happening, but it is a good way of adding a lot of strength into the way the car is restrained. Then, using yet another bandage of bubble wrap, we bandage the rear end of the car in to the pallet. And once again, when it's in place, we can then get some more sticky tape and I can secure the car in adhesive tape. Once this is done, the car is now ready to be placed in its final packaging media, the box. But this is how well this will hold the car. Look at that. Brilliant. And just to show, and this is what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day, is to make sure that that car will not move when it's going through the postal system. So let's give that box a shake and see if we can get that car to break free. And there you go. So that box is now ready for sealing and sending off to hopefully what will be a happy customer. Better than using a tape gun, innit? Snip. One last shake to make sure nothing's broke free. And of course, the final piece, the label. That's now ready for taking to the post office.